The Galactic Military Academy's training grounds buzzed with the usual morning chaos. Cadets from 17 different species moved in synchronized formations across the vast metallic courtyard, their varied anatomies creating a tapestry of evolutionary diversity. Among them, Sarah Chen stood out not for her appearance. Humans were common enough in the academy now, but for her unwavering focus. General Vextar towered over the assembled cadets, his chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the artificial suns. The Zilithian commander had earned his reputation through 3 decades of brutal efficiency, crushing rebellions across the outer rim with methodical precision. His forearms gestured dismissively at the morning's combat assessments. "Pathetic," he hissed, his mandibles clicking with disgust. The soft species continued to disappoint. Humans especially, all emotion, no discipline. Sarah maintained her stance at attention, though her jaw tightened imperceptibly. Around her, fellow cadets shifted uncomfortably. The general's prejudice against soft species was well known, but rarely expressed so openly. "You there?" Vextar's compound eyes fixed on Sarah. "Human, female. Step forward." Sarah moved with fluid precision, stopping exactly 3 paces from the general. "Cadet Chen reporting, sir." The general circled her slowly, his taloned feet clicking against the metal floor. "Chen, your combat scores are adequate. But combat scores mean nothing without proper respect for authority." He leaned closer, his alien features twisting into what might have been a sneer. "Your species lacks the fundamental understanding of hierarchy that makes a true warrior." "With respect, sir," Sarah replied evenly. "I disagree." The training ground fell silent. Even the automated systems seemed to pause their humming. General Vextar's exoskeleton darkened, a clear sign of agitation among Zilithians. "You disagree?" His voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. "A cadet presumes to correct a general? I believe humans understand hierarchy quite well, sir. We simply define respect differently than some species." What happened next would be analyzed frame by frame in military academies across the galaxy for years to come. General Vextar's primary right arm swept toward Sarah's face in a motion that would have sent most species sprawling. The slap was intended to humiliate, to demonstrate the vast gulf between a general's authority and a cadet's place. Sarah Chen had grown up in the gravity-heavy colony of New Shanghai, where children learned to move efficiently or risk injury from their own weight. She had trained in classical martial arts since age 5, not as recreation, but as necessity in a world where quick reflexes meant survival. Her nervous system, honed by generations of human evolution and refined by years of disciplined training, processed the general's attack in microseconds. The first second, Sarah's head began to move not away from the strike but into it, rotating to minimize impact while her right hand shot upward. The second second, her fingers locked around the general's wrist with precision born of countless hours of repetitive training. The human grip, evolved for tool use and enhanced by dense muscle fiber, applied pressure to exactly the right points. The third second, Sarah's body pivoted, using the general's own momentum and her lower center of gravity to redirect his force. Her left hand joined her right, creating a fulcrum. The fourth second, the distinctive crack of breaking chitin echoed across the training ground. General Vextar's roar of pain shattered the silence as he stumbled backward, cradling his mangled wrist. The joint bent at an angle that even alien anatomy couldn't accommodate. Purple fluid, the Zilithian equivalent of blood, seeped between the cracks in his exoskeleton. Sarah released her grip and immediately returned to attention, her expression unchanged. "Sir, you moved to strike a cadet." I responded according to Academy regulations regarding self-defense. The other cadets stared in stunned silence. A few of the reptilian saurians hissed approvingly, while the crystalline Vorthak chimed in harmonious confusion. The general's aide, a nervous centaurian, activated his medical scanner with shaking hands. "The wrist is fractured in 3 places," the aide reported, his voice barely above a whisper. "Severe structural damage to the primary joint." Commander Thale, the Academy's human liaison, appeared as if materializing from thin air. Her weathered face remained impassive as she surveyed the scene. "General Vextar, I trust you'll be reporting to Medical Bay immediately." The Zilithian general glared at her with barely contained rage. This human attacked a superior officer. Cadet Chen defended herself against an unprovoked assault. Thale replied calmly. Academy regulations are quite clear on this matter. Section 47B specifically states that any physical aggression toward a cadet constitutes grounds for immediate defensive action. Vextar's mandibles clicked furiously. 4 seconds. It took her 4 seconds to break my wrist. Actually, Sarah spoke for the first time since the incident, her voice carrying clearly across the training ground. It took 3.7 seconds. The remaining 0.3 seconds were me deciding whether to break your elbow as well. The general's exoskeleton darkened further, but Commander Thale stepped between them. General, medical attention. Now, Cadet Chen, report to debriefing room 7. As the medical team escorted the still protesting general away, murmurs rippled through the assembled cadets. The story would spread through the academy within hours, carried by quantum comm messages to every corner of known space. Later, in the debriefing room, Commander Thale reviewed the incident footage with Sarah. The recording showed the encounter from multiple angles, each one confirming the same sequence of events. You realize this will cause complications, Thale said finally. Sarah nodded. Yes, ma'am. But the alternative was accepting that human cadets are acceptable targets for abuse. The other species respect strength, Thale continued. They'll understand your response even if they don't like it. But Vextar won't forget this humiliation. I hope not, ma'am. Sarah's eyes held no trace of regret. Maybe next time he'll remember that humans didn't become a spacefaring species by backing down from bullies. 3 days later, Sarah Chen received her first commendation for exemplary conduct under pressure and proper application of defensive protocols. The official report made no mention of the 3.7 seconds that redefined how the galaxy viewed human cadets. General Vextar, his wrist now reinforced with titanium implants, never again made disparaging comments about soft species. Some lessons, the Academy learned, were best taught in under 4 seconds.